Camera.
Lex, you're sideways.
Dang, we done started off on a crazy, so already. There you go. All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? Yo, who pulling the OJ on me already? Oh, there go OJ right there. There we go. Right there. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the S2EP4 podcast. This is episode 4, the Eskimos. And what we're going to be talking about today. What would you do for love? And of course, for this episode, we had to get the women involved. So the fellas, we got our input, we got our perspective. The ladies gonna have their perspective. Yo, what's good, OJ? How you doing? You want to hear early, so I know. You gotta check on your.
Hey man, I'm a busy guy. I had school, so just got out at 6:45.
I know it is. And
so what?
I think he's mechanical engineering.
What's your major?
Mechanical engineering.
Yeah. So as y'all come in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All free 99. So you ain't gonna cost you nothing off your life, nothing off your time. And as you watching the video, just go ahead and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? How everybody feel? Man, I ain't gonna ask you. Right? I already asked y'all that. I was told not to do that no more. So I ain't gonna do it. So like I said, today's episode is what would you do for love? So the topics we're gonna be covering: Joe Budden versus Ish. Man, that was a couple weeks old, but like I said, we do our shows every other week. So we're gonna be covering that, and then we also gonna get into some polyamory, not polygamy, polyamory. It's a difference. If you don't know, I can explain that a little bit later. But we're gonna get into some polyamory. So let me go ahead and start by playing this 2-minute video. Y'all sit tight.
I dealt with a girl before. Mm-hmm. Joe met the girl through me. Joe then proceeds to have rendezvous with said girl.
Okay. One
of the rendezvous is behind a local New York spot, tongue kissing the girl in his car.
No, that's not true. See,
that's
why he believe everything the girl said.
But he didn't.
He believed anything.
You told me this,
He let
Joe.
you talk without.
That's true. I'll shut up.
You and Joe admitted it.
My bad.
You ain't got to yell.
It's your
He
world.
ain't got to interrupt.
It's your world.
Go ahead.
Off mic,
moderate
Joe,
this shit.
True,
Let's
I appreciate it.
Go ahead. It's your go.
Off mic, Joe just admitted that him and the girl was tongue kissing.
Not in the car.
He said in the back of the spot.
You gotta have all the details right here, Joe.
He said the back of the spot.
He said the back of the spot.
I said it was the back of the spot.
Yeah, he said the car. He didn't say the car.
You're a little semantic-y, though.
I'm
very
semantic-y.
No, I'm not semantic. I do that with him because all he do is believe anything that the bitches say while he on the phone on the highway. He don't never come talk to his man.
Stop.
He don't never try to get two sides of the story.
Don't believe nothing.
Your friend
Stop
is
agreeing
telling
with Joe.
you that I did not try to fuck that girl or she would be fucked.
That's not. I'm saying
All
Joe.
right, go ahead.
Again, Joe tongue kissing the girl.
Okay.
Cool. Stop. Then another time, I walk into a spot. I didn't even know Joe was going to be in the spot. I walk into the spot. Joe invited the girl to said spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Joe's stance in these matters is if y'all fucked a girl, that girl is barely getting a high from me.
That's
different.
No.
He didn't say that.
That's different.
Now you changing my
This-
words.
That's different.
Hold up.
Me trying to fuck the girl and her barely getting a high from me are two very
different things. But Joe's on record as saying if y'all used to fuck with any girl.
No, but don't put the not say hi on me because I speak to y'all exes.
Cool.
He do.
Cool. Listen to my point. in a rational person's brain, you tongue kissing a girl, and then you inviting a girl out to said night spots. Again, now we can never, I don't care what happens, I could shoot at anybody and say, yo, I ain't intend to kill him. We can't never prove what my intent is going to be. But in a rational nigga's brain, when you tongue kissing this bad bitch on a late night behind a spot, and then you invite her on a late night to an after hour spot, you attempting to do something. Now, stop, Flip. We can't prove now what Joe has in his brain, so it's null and void argument at that point.
All right, there you have it. Everybody got that?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna start this conversation by saying, have you ever pursued a friend's or somebody they used to mess with? And we're gonna start with Lex. Start from the bottom. Make our way up.
Everybody was hoping to start on them.
Right, straight off the rip. Well, pursued. I have been pursued by such peoples. As far as there was this one instance where this dude he wanted to, chop it up. He wanted to, get busy or whatever. And I knew he was dealing with one of my friends. It was more of an associate, but she was like that they didn't have sexual intercourse or whatnot. So I was like, well, to me, he hasn't really been touched for real. So I was just like, oh, he free game. So especially being that me and her wasn't, like that close as far as friends. We were just, associates. We would go out and stuff. But we ended up later on having like a threesome. So everything worked out. But yeah.
For him.
Triple X.
That's not what I thought this story was going.
You hit a home run.
So
Shit.
heavy
I wasn't even expecting that.
God, hey.
I'm glad that all worked out though. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
You gotta have fun.
You do.
All right, OJ, what about you?
Well, my story ain't gonna top that one.
Strong, boy. We starting off strong.
Yeah, but I did have
That's for I think that's for you right there. Already. He calling you Cap already.
golly.
That nigga, he just reminded me of a story.
So
all right, go.
I had someone. Well, I had a really close friend, and he liked this girl. Man, somebody he liked her bad, and she had him in the friend zone heavy, and like she would try to like sneak and talk to me while he wasn't around. And I was confused because I'm like, if you don't like this dude, you don't have to like. I'm not. You already know how I feel about money and women. So if it's a woman that you like, or it's a woman that you have been with, I'm not trying to talk to her. But this was a woman that he couldn't get, but liked me. So it was kind of weird. So he had never been with her, but this was like somebody who he really cared about and wanted to be with. But she wasn't feeling him; she was feeling me. So it was a weird place, and I didn't do anything. But like I say, it was just kind of one of those weird areas where it's just like I could have, but I didn't. But no story saying nothing other than that.
So y'all didn't have a threesome at the end.
No, we didn't. I wouldn't want to anyways. That was my
Have you had a threesome before?
What?
Plead the fifth. Got it. Yeah.
I have.
I've had it done like to me more than once. I haven't particularly did it to anybody. I've had situations where it was like a blurred line, a little weird. Like the person didn't really mess with the person, but their history is long story short. So it gave that vibe, but it was never really that. But personally, I've never like did that to anyone.
Okay. Mel?
When I was younger, I thought it was like, I kind of thought it was like, if it wasn't your girlfriend, it was like kind of up for grabs for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I learned a long time ago, like 18, 19, 20, I think. I was like, nah, this ain't, I got into an altercation and it ain't that. So I ain't really been on that since. I don't got no story that I'm willing to tell right now.
Oh, okay. Shit. Man, y'all making this go by fast. I thought you were gonna have a little bit more details on.
I got a story I'll tell about one time when I was somewhere else and I was talking to this girl and I had to work that day. I had to work that day. And one of my homeboys ended up. Yeah, one of my homeboys ended up dealing with it. It was funny because I got this song that remind me of that time, but I ain't gonna. The song.
Hey, don't tell too much now.
God, I can't. I don't know if it's cool to tell the story. So
no. I wouldn't say that.
But it was funny though. You know about it. It was a fun time.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Darnell?
Nah, not really.
You ain't never shot at nobody, girl? or been a person who girl shot at you? I'm just
nah, like
Come at him like that,
bro. Like
it's just a hard.
I don't know. I don't think my friend group really got the same. I mean, not really. I mean, say what?
Like same caliber of women that you would talk to?
Well, I won't say caliber, but I mean, it's just like we got different tastes, you know. So it's like,
yeah,
you know,
I feel that.
and that's the thing. Like my thing is, like, if y'all weren't together, then if y'all were just like playing around and whatever. I mean, you know, like Juvenile say, you know, you can have an old lady, but you know, these hoes for everybody. So, you know, like. Unless that was like, I know that was, hey, this is my girl, you introduced me to her as such, then I think it's fair game. But I never just happened to be in that situation, you know, like where we're both, you know, vying for the same woman. So, and no threesomes. So just put that out.
I ain't gonna lie, that story is kind of hard. Follow.
Yeah, like
that's kind of how you would go. No?
Yeah, she gonna last next time.
Yeah, she gonna last.
Yeah, because I got some wild stories.
God, we gonna have to get you your own show.
I told you them exes miss on, bro. I said,
Hey, man was over there about to shed a tear. He's like, man, I'm proud of him. I don't even know.
You're muted.
Yo, Chanel, go ahead. You ever had somebody try to talk to an ex or somebody you was talking to, or the other way around?
Nah, me and my friends don't have the taste in men, and this is like my first adult relationship, and now we're married, so nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you nobody's experienced it except for two people.
You gotta tell experience too, nigga. You can't just fucking be like,
I've had somebody, at least I've been told someone through third party that someone was trying to hit on my girl. I've been told that
your current girl,
but it was never confirmed or denied.
Oh, your wife?
Huh? I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He asking.
Oh, I'm asking.
Oh, you asking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn, did what? Oh no, that don't count. That don't count. I didn't do that. No.
Tell it.
Whoa. Are you the one who did it? Are you the?
No. So I'll tell the story what she talking about. But no, it was to her through somebody that I know. But what she talking about is how we met. Somebody called dibs. Another dude in my group called dibs. Only thing I did was introduce myself. Hey y'all. I even introduced myself because he was with our friend, another Lex at the time. I was like, hey, how you know I'm Cam? That was it. Oh. And then I went back to my other side of the bar. And
okay, Swiss.
That was it. No,
okay,
the dude
Swiss.
never went over to talk to her. I didn't try to encroach or nothing. I was about to get
that
ready to
don't
leave.
count.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's first meetup. Like,
yeah, that doesn't really count at first.
Everybody.
I didn't. That's why I said that don't really count.
I mean, some people take dibs very serious.
Well, he called dibs because he was serious, but he never acted on it.
This could be the love of your life.
I wasn't even trying. So if a dude ain't trying,
now you're married with two kids.
And they probably look.
There it is, married 2 kids.
Damn, that's just think if you would have like honored that, how different your life would have been.
I'm saying.
So how about this? Y'all have never looked at y'all like a friend's girl or friend's dude and be like, dang, they got it good. I wish I had that.
No.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would. Like, why not?
You said what? You would like that?
No, I mean, of course, like you like may have boys and they have girls. Like, damn, she bad, you know, like, but
you can look and say like she objectively looks good, but like I ain't never looked at if my homeboy introduced me to a girl, like I'm not like, damn, I want that. I want what y'all got.
Yeah, I think it's just two different scenarios. Like when my boy introduced me to a girlfriend, to me, it's just like, oh, you could potentially be somebody who you be with long term. So I'm planning on like trying to put forth effort to like you as like a sister or like a sister-in-law because it's my brother. But girl, he actually just dated. Oh yeah, this girl I'm talking to. I'm like, I gotta look out for you because you might be on some, homie hopping type vibes. It's just how I view it.
But yeah,
And this is how
like,
women have been.
I'll show you
I do have a story. I have a story where a girl that me and my boy both met, and she got his phone number, but then she hit me up and said, "Hey, listen, like, what you want to do this weekend?" I'm just like, "But you talking to my boy?" And I had to ask him. I said, "Bro, listen, if you like this girl, y'all been talking, please let me know now, because I'm willing to shoot at her, but I'm also not willing to ignore her if you actually like her." But he said no, and I had my, she jumped to me.
My spirit would have been crushed a little bit. I'm like, yeah, man, you can take it.
That's part of the game, bro. Like as a dude, like
it's part of the game.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
It's an L.
Yeah, you take an L sometimes.
Yeah, you got to take an L. That's how you learn. But here's the crazy thing is, right? Y'all looked at those stats that I sent y'all about cheating and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looked at it. So for the audience, based off the stats, at least over 50% of people, men and women, have cheated at least once. And repeat offenders are just over 30 to 40% between men and women. That's a high ass number. That's close to 50% there too. So at least everybody's cheating, or at least repeat offenders.
No, that's the people that admit to it.
That's the people that admit to it. So the numbers could be a little bit higher.
You might double those numbers.
So, and then also, at least 40%, at least the ones that admit to it, did it with a friend. So somebody up here capping, bro.
To cheating? Oh, with a friend? Oh no.
Somebody up here capping.
Nah.
The numbers, the math ain't mathing.
What?
It's cool, but let's have a conversation. Have y'all experienced that though? I mean, it's outside of y'all, someone coming after y'all friend, coming after y'all significant other, or y'all going after somebody else. Have y'all seen it? Have y'all seen it done? And what was the fallout behind it?
I got a homeboy that shoot at everything. Like, if you you bring him to your house or whatever, this nigga gonna be on Facebook. This back in the day, he might have changed, but he gonna slide in her DMs. He gonna be in her like. I got a homeboy that do that to like damn every pretty girl he meet. So I've seen it. I've seen some dudes like that girl go with it. Some like they like show this your friend, like this your nigga, this. But
and what you
friends like that who needs enemies, bro.
Real. He a homeboy. Like I wouldn't call him a friend, but he cool like to go out with. Like that's one of the dudes he always down to go out. And when we used to hoop all the time.
That's respectable though. It doesn't hurt to ask your friend what's up between them and that person that's trying to holler at you. That's true. I didn't do that. I didn't do that a couple times.
I don't know about that one.
But you never had a girl come up to you that was talking to your boy and wanted to holler at you instead because she figured you was a better pick?
Yeah, I literally just said that. That's kind of. I felt bad.
Yeah. But that's what the comment was talking. It was a response to you, OJ.
Oh, okay.
No, I was talking about the comment as he talking about asking, right? I'm like,
that's what OJ was talking earlier.
That's practice.
Ladies, y'all never did that before? Y'all never saw a guy and was like, or one of your friends was talking to him, he was like, hey, look, I want to talk to that guy. Can I get him? Or the guy was talking to your friend but wanted to talk to you instead. Y'all never experienced that? I feel like that's very common for a woman to experience at least once, maybe twice.
I've had people that I had dealings with that I wasn't serious with, and since I don't care because they weren't like nobody to me, I've had roommates or people like, oh, this and that going on, and I just like go ahead if that's what you want, give them whatever rating they need to know, information, and then go on with your day.
How does that make you feel though?
Wait, rating?
In that
what do you mean give them a rating?
Was it worth it? I already understand.
Let them know what it was hitting for, like pretty much like if that's
like you already smashed.
Like a Yelp review.
Yeah, like
it's a different form.
Eskimo women. Eskimo.
It's a different.
Eskimo.
I like Yelp. Like this is what you're gonna be going into if that's what you want to do, but it didn't make me feel no way because the person really. How the story is, the person really wasn't important to me at all, and whatever happened wasn't supposed to happen, so I wasn't even like, and it was a drunk night, and she was like, okay, well, how do you feel about this? And I'm like, girl, go ahead, like, enjoy your time or enjoy whatever he has to offer.
Wow. They might be married right
How'd
now.
you view her as a friend after that?
I don't think it changed like how I viewed her as a friend. I don't think it changed how like did I feel like she was less of my friend or anything like that. I don't think that like really changed. But it was just based on some of the morals and things that she used to say like about herself. That kind of changed like how like certain statements she would make about I guess loyalty or like relationship and stuff like that was kind of contradicting what she was actually doing, especially in that moment. So that part of it kind of like changed how I looked at the person just by like a little bit. Not that I care that much, but it wasn't like I was worried that she had like my leftovers or why would you even ask or feel like that was okay or anything like that.
Well, how old were y'all? Like, was it like during like being young or like kind of where?
College was a wild time.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm like. As a,
I feel like that's experimental.
Yeah,
it's almost a hard pass for college.
Because now that I'm older, like certain stuff I wouldn't do. Like certain stuff, like even if I wanted to, like if one of my homies dealt with somebody, then I'm just good on it.
Yeah, it's a mindset change. I feel like at this age, it wouldn't be not that I would have a problem with it, but I probably would look like one out of all the fishes in the sea. Why would you choose this?
But when you're young, though, when I was younger, I felt like the pond ain't that big. Like I don't know who I'm gonna meet. You going straight from high school, then you going to college. It all seems small, and then really depend on where you're coming from too. Like
I think it's the extent in a relationship because to bring it back to like the video of what I've seen about like the back and forth that Joe and him keep on having because I think it happened more than once with this story. I think he's playing off like how close he was to the girl because he obviously really feels some type of way about Joe doing whatever he did. But I think he also tries to play it off like how I was saying the person wasn't that important. And to me, the person really wasn't that important. So I don't care. But you can tell that like he really, even if he's going off the principle of what went on, there's some like emotion behind that.
I think he's more mad that Joe lying though. Like you ain't kissing no girl in the club and you talking about no, I wasn't trying to smash. Like you that in the club, nobody's doing it.
No, he was in the back. He was the back of the club. They weren't even in the middle.
With the intentions of not doing nothing, we just gonna kiss like we in high school and go home.
But I mean, if you've been like drinking and stuff, like this shit happens. But I feel like for the dude, I feel like it might have been an ego thing. Like he might be like, "Oh, she's for the streets now," but I think maybe he put effort into that, and then to see how maybe easy Joe had it, like getting out. I think it's an ego thing. Like either he really did care about the girl and his feelings are hurt, or he's mad at how Joe was able to pursue that even though he wasn't trying to fuck. You know what I'm saying? I think he's hurt.
Yeah, or he probably
scream like that and be that emotional if they not hurt. Like
I'd be more understanding if he was like, bro, I don't even remember that. I was drunk. I don't even remember that. But to say like we kissing in the back of behind the club or whatever, and you saying like, nah, I wasn't trying to smash. That just don't sound right. That don't sound like.
If somebody, so if you had the conversation the first time, it's understandable to be like, okay, like you're lying. Like I know you said that it doesn't line up or sound right. But if you had the conversation more than once, and each time like you're like that, if the person didn't matter or the situation like wasn't that big, because I feel like even though it's like the principle of that is not as huge to keep on getting that time and like keep on going at it about it. At some point, you got to be like, okay, whatever. But like, go.
As dudes, I honestly don't think he really care about the like as much as the female. But as dudes, we use it's like, bro, you lying, bro, and you lying to like, why you lying to me? We friends, and it ain't about the girl. Like her name could be whatever, but now you just lying, and I'm gonna prove you wrong, and then it just escalate from there. That's what I think.
I think every party has to be honest about what's going on. Let's just say I'm gonna use Mel and Darnell. Darnell, you see a girl that Mel was talking to, and let's just say you actually just you just want to talk to her too, but he don't talk to her anymore. Well, number one, you have to be real and say, hey, listen, bro, I'm gonna talk to this girl and like kind of voice your intentions. Like if Mel, especially if this male friend though. So if it's male friend and you taking her from somebody who he knew and somebody who he was close to, you got to be honest about what you plan on doing. And maybe you got to be like, yeah, bro, I really ain't got no feelings for her. Do your thing.
No,
that's one of my friends. I'm gonna tell you,
else close to, bro. That has nothing to do with me, bro. That has nothing to do with me.
It does. If y'all friends.
If Mel knows somebody, right, and that's Mel's homeboy who had an ex.
No, he talking about
that's me.
No, he talking about a home. Like, say it was one of my friend's exes, and we friends or whatever.
Just because we friends don't mean I'm friend with your friend.
He talking about
the girl.
What about her?
I'm talking about if Mel had a friend girl.
Oh, friend girl.
Yeah, a friend girl, and you're trying to talk to her. That whatever their relationship that you want to have with her has to kind of be talked about. Because if Mel really found her, if Mel think her, if she's a real close friend to Mel, and they rock, and he's close to you, if y'all meet and something mess up, he had to choose a side almost. Say, hey, he been rocking with her.
No, I mean, for one, he doesn't. Like, and let's say if he does, right? Like, even then, like, I don't agree with that because, like, y'all are just friends.
Bro,
right?
this exact same thing can happen to us on the podcast. They're doing a podcast together, and once again, some guy, which could be Mel, is in this instant, that he has a close friend, and the only part the reason why Joe in that relation in his boy, the reason why there's friction right now because somebody's lying, and the intent of the relationship that he was about to have with her isn't real. They're both lying about their feelings because he's saying once again he's saying he really don't care, but he's showing that he care a lot, and then he's saying no, I was the one trying to be with her, but he showed every intention that he was trying to be with her. They're both lying.
Well, he's showing intention that he really liked that girl.
His feelings out, right?
Yeah, his feelings is good because Joe talked to her, and then he's mad about it.
Well, in both their defenses, they're light
bro. Like that's the thing, bro. Unless that person introduced to me as Mel's, hey, this is my significant other, girlfriend, somebody I care about deeply in a romantic sense, then bro, it's fair game.
Man, how my friends right? They're gonna come tell me like, what's up with him? And, they're gonna say something like that, and usually dudes I know they're gonna say like, who is that? They're gonna ask. I'm gonna be like, and I am gonna mind my business. Like whatever y'all decide to do, that's on y'all. I'm not picking no sides on nothing. Whatever happened, that's on y'all. I don't even really have to know.
Because if something like even if you told them what's up with whichever part, it's not like they're gonna listen to you either way for the most part. Like if they see each other and they're just like, I like him or I like her, she look good, you could be like, she crazy, she popped tires or something like that and put sugar in the tank, and he's still gonna try to go after her because that's what they want. Or same thing if you told the girl like, oh, he no good, he does this and that. If that's what she really wants, she's gonna go after it. And even in that dynamic, it's not right for either of them to like trying to make you choose if it doesn't go right. Unless it's something like real crazy where it's like a character flaw where you just can't mess with whoever did wrong. It's just like, I can't do that, but it's not really their place to tell you, okay, you gotta choose which friend because they were there already.
Well, to your point, it would work if Mel said, hey, listen, like, bro, this is somebody who I care about. Can you not talk to her? And if he still pursues her, who's wrong? Is Mel not wrong? You'll be wrong in that sense?
Yeah, in that sense, right? But again, he did not introduce. If he doesn't introduce her like that,
yeah, I agree.
Close friend,
I agree.
Then that's fair game, bro.
It's fair game. I agree.
So
I would never ask nobody to not talk to nobody.
So I kind of got an example. It's a friend. I mean, if they get mad at me for telling the story, that's fine. I'll be okay. But he was talking to. He used to mess with a girl on and off. They do business. They do personal stuff and all this and this, that, and the third. And then one of our other mutual guy friends wanted to holler at her. So he went to him just like OJ went to like, hey, look, like I want to talk to her, blah blah blah. And he was like, bro, don't do that. Because if you're gonna fuck it up, don't do that. But he went and did it anyway, right? Man. He went and did it anyway. So after like a week or so, she hit him up and like, hey, like, did you tell this dude not to talk to me? And he was like, he's like, yeah, like, bro, why would you tell her that?
Pillow talk.
Why would you tell her? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
So now this whole big old thing, because he done outed him for telling him like not to talk. Like, bro, I told you why not to talk to her, and you still went to talk to her. Then you told her that I told you not to talk to her.
Oh, that's like a double fuck up.
That's why I don't do that. If somebody be like, come to me, we out, and they be like, yo, what's up with her? I'm gonna say, oh, she good. She like single. She, if you want to talk to her, go ahead. If it's one of my friends, she gonna come up to me and say, who's that? That nigga trying to talk to me. I'm gonna say, all right, that's what's the name? That's where I know him from. Whatever question she got, I'm gonna answer. If she want to fuck with him, she gonna fuck with him. Nah, she gonna be like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. And we just gonna respect that. But if
I think it's the quality of friend though, because like if you are an actual I think people use friend too lightly instead of acquaintance. As a friend, even no matter how many times you can say that's not serious, based on how I see y'all interact and what y'all doing, I can see what level. So unless it's in beginning stage, like we just met in the club over there and now I see you over here, then okay, maybe. But there's certain lines you don't cross once people like go past a certain level. And even if you ask, I just feel like that's inappropriate and you should know better than to do that. And you wouldn't want somebody to do that on your end either if you got that far with somebody. So I just feel like some things are just out of the question, no matter how much you may be into the next person. You can just swallow that and move on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You about to say something, Lex?
I would. I was about to say, okay, so this whole sounding like people was just lurking in the friend zone is not working with me. You need to make your moves and make your intentions known, so then at least people can be like, okay, I can warm up to that feeling. Like, okay, you feeling me? Might be feeling you. Okay, cool. Instead of entertaining the next man that approaches her that is a mutual friend of yours or what have you, because then it's just like, oh well, I know that I've been hanging with such and such, and he looks at me as a friend. So this other dude made his intentions known. So I'm gonna put my intention towards the one that has the intention. So
every woman, and I don't mean to like you had me, then I had to think about something. Every woman has a guy who they know who like them, who they got in the friend zone.
Facts.
When I say every woman, I'm gonna say 90% of women. So you get 9 women, you get 10 women, 9 of those women you're gonna get those women who just legit friends.
But whose fault is that though? Like if you express interest in the woman and she tells you she's not interested, she just wants to be your friend, and you sit there and wait there in that pocket until the opportunity presents itself.
That's your fault.
It's your fault.
Your fault. You know he lurking.
No, that's the dude fault, bro. Why
no, it's the dude fault.
Yeah, you gotta fall back.
Look, I agree.
Yeah, but why would she keep him there though, knowing that?
She's not. You have free will.
You keeping yourself there.
But like that's the thing. If you keep on talking to this guy and entertaining them,
as a
they're gonna stay there. It's like a stray dog. If you keep
this is the last time.
Coming back.
Mr. Steel Girl. Trey Songz said a lot.
Look, we're not gonna unpack all of it, but
like if you would completely ignore that guy, you need to be talking to himself in the inboxes.
If you
wouldn't see him, like you're keeping him around because you find him useful.
Even dudes do it. Like when a guy tries to holler at a girl and she's dismissive of it. The first thing they say, "Oh, you can't have friends."
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It used to work too.
No. That's not the same. That's not the same.
You know his intentions though.
Because what you talking about is a guy approach you when you in a relationship. That's what I'm hearing. Because then you like, oh, I got a boyfriend. Oh, you can't have friends. That's where I hear that from.
It's happened not in a relationship. Like you're just not interested. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to be your friend. I'm just trying to get to know you. You know what your intention.
No. If you say no, I'm good. I'm leaving. All right, nice to meet you.
But they don't do that.
I know. I seen some people be acting thirsty. I seen it work sometimes, but I couldn't do it. But I seen niggas they gonna pursue a girl like, damn, what you planning on getting out of this?
Yeah, you just be niggas be lingering, man.
And guess what? They'd be the main one talking about they ain't got nobody. Nobody wants to pursue them.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. All right, if y'all just joining us, thank y'all for joining. It's the S2EP podcast. I'm Toke, and we talking about what would you do for love. We just wrapped up the Joe Budden segment of this. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you in the comments, hit that share button. bring some more people in so we can get this message out to people and get the show out and grow as a channel. So now my next question before I get into the last video is, how important is love to y'all? And we're gonna start with Chanel.
Define love.
You define love.
That's a really, really broad question. Love is important. Not even just like romantically. Like if you're not poured into by some type of support system, whether it be family, friends, you really kind of like lost out here in the world, and hurt people. So I think love is super important. It's important to feel loved.
Okay. Darnell?
I mean, I guess it's important. I mean, do you have to be loved? No, you don't have to, but
you don't have to be loved?
I mean, we're talking about as an adult, no. And then the thing is, love is, I think as an adult, you know, it's something that if you're talking about like interpersonally, like in a romantic sense, then like no, that's not required. You know, we desire it, but it's not a requirement. You know, you don't like. There's plenty of people gone their whole lives without, you know, any type of intimacy or anything. Right? They live their life and.
What is that? Yeah, you looking at him crazy.
Ooh, am I going next?
What? Yeah, I want Yam to respond to Darnell. Then her.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's an interesting take because just whether you're talking about relationship wise or like Chanel said, platonically or anything, love and scientifically is proven that love and feeling that love and the things that come with that is very important at any age. And most people who go without like through their lives, adult, young, or anything, lacking different types of love or intimacy on whichever level, they go through they're like disturbed in some type of way. There's something lacking, there's something wrong with them. And then the way they act or react towards the world or different situations show that they're lacking that love or that intimacy from other people, because at the end of the day, people need people. And there are certain parts of love, I guess, as you were trying to say, like relationship wise, that I don't necessarily need every part of it, but to really be a part of a community or to have your person and to like have that person that like understands you and to be around each other. That's something humans or any animals need. Like even when you watch any kind of scenario where somebody is put in solitary confinement, the reason why that's not right for all, like however amount of time, is because you need that connection from the person, whether y'all talking or just close to each other. You can't survive without it if you're alone without any of that.
Well, I would say if you're talking about solitary confinement, that's a very extreme case, and it's not necessarily that they're deprived of love, they're deprived of, they have sensory deprivation, and there's other things that go on way before you even get to the point of the concept of love. So I mean, I don't think that's a
solitary confinement is an extreme, but even
that's a bad example.
In a town by themselves, eventually something ain't gonna work. It's not a real life example per se, but even when you watch different movies like I Am Legend, when he thought he was the only person alone, what was he doing? Making connections because he needed that personal connection, or like he was talking to people or people were around.
Yeah, but I'll say, but is that love or is that just simply interaction? Like you said, love. Like you said, love.
Love and show intimacy is all in it together.
No, intimacy and love are two different things.
It's a part of it though.
But there's still two different concepts.
Okay, I feel like I can join y'all points because even the people who don't like people, I know people who really don't like people and they prefer animals. I know people who don't like animals or people and they like plants. I think life equates to love too. And I think when we talk about the definition of love, it's so broad that you really can't, it does include intimacy. It does include just spending time with somebody. It's like it's your version. So it doesn't have a definite finite answer of what love is, because we all define love in our own ways.
That's why I asked how important is it?
Well, that's the thing, Cam. You also didn't give us a good you just left it an open-ended definition. And if we all have different definitions, we can't actually have a good.
That's what love is.
Like OJ just said, it's open. It's love. You can't define love.
Okay, but that's the thing. If you don't have a definition of it, we cannot have this conversation.
You know what love is to you.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Yams or Chanel or OJ, Melvin, Lex, Triple X, are you gonna understand that? Like we're not gonna have the same conversation. We're gonna be talking about two different things.
No, so yeah, look,
intimacy, right? And I'm saying you gotta be intimate and not love somebody. The two are not mutually exclusive or inclusive.
That's what love means to her.
Okay, again, now we're having a different conversation because the definition has changed between us two. That's why we need one definition to be able to expound on that.
I will say that love is the third level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It starts with homeostasis, and then it's safety, and then it's love.
All right, I ain't been to school in a long time. I thought homeostasis was like something that happened with plants.
No, that's your internal. That's your internal
homeostasis happens with any living thing.
Oh, okay.
That's like so. If your body temperature goes up to 99 or something like that, it fucks up your homeostasis. So shit.
Or when you're hungry,
down, you start getting sick and stuff like that.
Now you'll be all right.
It's like your basic.
Yeah, you'll be all right, but it's still gonna be wonky. But 103 is when you die.
Versus 98.6.
Huh?
99 versus 98.6. I mean, 99 is not a fever.
Dontrell said you could put this comment up.
You can define love. So we talking about, okay, let me just say, we talking about love for somebody else. Like, what are you willing? Because my next question is going to be leading up to, like, I wanted to know how important love is from another person.
I thought about this,
how important is love from another person to you?
To me, it is to me, it's important, but my definition is different. Like the way that I love people, it's like I'm more like family oriented. So when I love somebody, like even in relationships where it was like we was in full-blown relationships, if I feel like I loved you, then that shit don't stop. Even if we broke up on whatever. My definition is just like I'm willing to make sure that you're good. Like I don't know, because I'm willing to just make sure that you're good in the ways that I feel necessary. Like if you need something from me, then you'll get there, but it don't have to be like the intimacy could be forever removed. But
I feel like it's rare, dog. Honestly, I feel like it's rare for somebody.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because love it ain't. Once I love somebody, you kind of like that. That's it. Kind of like you move into like family stage. Like I fuck with you like as a family. So it don't mean that we got to be intimate no more. So if we're talking about a specific partner, like a wife or something like that, then maybe that's harder to explain. But I think once we get into that role, you family to me.
I think of somebody. It doesn't stop. Depending on whatever the situation is or how boundaries change within that, you never really stop loving people. You just change based on whatever that interaction was that caused the change to happen.
I feel
like that.
OJ?
Yeah, I think I think love is very important to me. It is not just with the women I'm with, it's with my friends, it's with the people. It's like I know how much energy I put in people, and I I expect the same amount of energy. And how energy works is it can never be killed or destroyed. So if I'm giving you energy, then I'm not expecting the same type, because I know we all love each other differently. I'm just using, for example, me. I hadn't seen Mail came out to my baby shower, so just like I came to Houston this past week. It's just like seeing him being in the same environment as me. It's almost felt surreal, because it's like just somebody who he made the effort to come out and see me. It's just like I wanted to make sure that he was around me the whole weekend. So like, come on out, just bring yourself. Just like, I don't care what you, just come.
I'm still recovering, bro.
You said what happened?
I'm still recovering.
Man, bro. I ain't young anymore. But it's just like it's that type of for love for me. Just like he made effort to come see me, so I just want to make sure I had the same effort to make sure like it wasn't the same type, but it was energy. So I think that for me is the energy I give to people, and I just want the same energy back.
So what about love from a woman, OJ?
Love from a woman,
Your woman. How important is love from your woman?
It's vital. It's vital to our relationship.
Okay.
I share something with her that I don't share with other women. So it's like I can be on here and I can talk to these women and have a conversation. But with my woman, I can have the same conversation, but it will be completely different. So I share this one type of energy with her. So it's super important for me for us to have the way we want to be loved, as well as the way we want to be loved for each other. Like I like certain things and she likes certain things, and we just gotta love each other in those ways. So we have the love languages, I would say.
Okay.
She want me to say nice things to her, and I want some quality time and her to, rub my beard.
Rub your beard? Oh damn.
Nah, that's what I was also gonna say, that like the way that I don't want nobody to, the things that I'm gonna do for like my significant other, that ain't the way I want to receive love. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to, like rub my head and do all that other shit, but I don't want, like, I'm dry. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to do all of that extra words of affirmation. I'm not good at that, but
it's hard, dog. It's one of the hardest things I think I ever had to expressing my love to somebody, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I be wanting to Google the shit, bro, but then I feel like I'm cheating, bro. Like then it's like, man, she gonna be mad if she find this out, so let me not.
You want to be on Chat GPT, though?
Right about to say you go on Chat GPT, bro. You better use AI.
Man, I thought about this. I'm like, yeah, they gonna really.
What movie was that where he was talking to his girl, but he was reading the stuff off the wall?
I think I seen it. Damn, not Google. I can't Google. Damn. I be feeling.
Is Lex there?
Her camera's off and her mic is off.
Okay.
She ran off.
It's fine.
Yeah.
She probably got some good ass fucking important love to her.
What about you, Ken? What do you feel like love is to you?
Love is important. It is important. I feel like as a man, I feed off of love. Love in the sense of like respect. Respect and also like receiving stuff. That's, I guess that'd be my love language, I guess. But without love, I mean, I'll probably just be an angry ass nigga out here, man. So, the biggest thing is leading up to, once you find out how important love is to you, what are you willing to do for it? Are you willing to compete for it? Are you willing to share it with somebody? Or are you really just to be exclusive and that's like nobody else can have this love that I'm getting? It's only for me. So what do y'all think?
Can I go?
Yep.
So it's different types of love. So being married, being in a long-term relationship, it's like, oh, I want everybody to experience this. I want everybody to know what this feels like. But I recently had a child, and that love is different. Mm-hmm. That love almost scares me because there are things that I may not do for my husband, may not even consider doing for my husband, but for my kid, she only been here almost 12 weeks, and that's a different kind of love. And it's like, I'm caught between wanting to share her with the world because I love her so much and wanting to keep her to myself. And I don't think I've felt that way about anyone or anything before. So it really does depend on the relationship, whether it be a friend, whether it be a significant other, whether it be your child. It looks so different. So yeah, that's something I've like noticed with me lately. Like I love her to a point of like, I'm going to be a helicopter parent. Like I'm going to shield her from the world as much as I can. And I have to figure out what that balance is versus my significant other. Like I'm going to show you off. We're going to go out. I'm going to post you all the time. I don't care who sees. So it's different. So yeah, I'd kill, still die for her. I probably would for my husband too, but it would take a second thought.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's certain things like when I had my son, like I don't like nasty stuff. Like I ain't touching nobody else's nose shit. Like I'm not doing it. And sometimes you gotta I ain't gonna talk about it, but like there's certain things and I'm like, damn, I would never did this shit out, but without a second thought, you end up you just doing it. That shit's crazy. Changing shitty ass diapers.
It's different.
Yeah, I think that this
Hold on, OJ. Darnell, Joe had a question for you. That's not it. I'm tripping. Have you ever been in love with a person?
I have.
There you go. That's nice. 6-stick answer. Go ahead, OJ.
Oh. Are you still in love with that person?
Like in love, or do you just love them? Because those are two different things as well.
I have been both, and yeah. But to answer OJ's question, no.
How you think that you not loving that person who you was in love with? How do you think that there's
well, let me take that back. Because that's the thing. I think like a lot of people use like love-hate relationships with something, and the thing is like hate isn't the opposite of love. You know, it's like tangential to it, whereas the diametric opposite of love would be apathy, right? And there's few things I'm apathetic about that I'm aware of. So, like, I think, you know, again, like I said, I think what Cam said, like the definition of love, I think needed to be more concrete, right? Because we all have very different definitions of what love is. And there's a lot of gray area to it as well. So,
okay. All right, OJ, before you answer, I asked that question, but I was supposed to play the video first. So I'm going to play the video.
Okay.
All right.
This is Jerome. He fell in love with Jasmine. Jerome cheated in all his previous relationships.
I never felt like one female could amount to everything that I wanted. Jasmine was dope. She was able to cook. She was able to clean.
So the couple decided to open up their relationship. And now Jerome has 4 wives.
We don't have a maximum limit of people in a relationship.
But the outside world has scrutinized their way of life.
This old man is pimping y'all young, dumb A-words.
I'm Jerome, and this is Jasmine.
We've been together 6 years. He slid in my DM on Facebook.
And she slid in my room after that. Our relationship history before meeting Big Jazz was, I can literally say, I feel like I was in the health department every weekend. I had multiple partners. I never felt like one female could amount to everything that I wanted. Whether she can cook and clean, but she couldn't have sex, or she can cook, clean, have sex, but she didn't know how to be there financially. I had to have a new partner every day. I definitely was more of a assassin, a cheater. But this girl got me. I was with a whole nother woman. And just being with Jasmine, I realized that you doing more than what my woman is doing at home. And you're only 19 years old. So I was just like, this girl at the home, she need to go. And I need to get Jasmine. Jasmine was dope. Did I cheat?
Did you?
I don't know.
Yeah, you cheated.
I used to cheat so much. So I ended up cheating. And then when I realized like this girl ain't playing like all the other women, I ended up getting her back.
Well, I see the whole episode today.
I seen a little bit more. That nigga.
That's what I was gonna do, because it's a lot more to that. That's like I looked at that channel. There's a whole bunch of different things we could talk about. Have a whole segue reactions, bro. We can talk about that more in depth later.
You the deep takes.
Yeah, deep takes. Yeah, exactly. But what I really want to ask y'all, how because that lets you know how important love is to them. That she was willing, even though he cheated on her multiple times, she accepted him for who he was, and then added more people to the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that's how important love is to them. Are you willing to share your love with other people so they can experience the same thing? Or are you all about exclusivity?
Let me tell you something. There hadn't been a relationship that I had heard of people who had been married for 30 to 40 plus years who didn't have some of that in there. And I want to let every woman know who's listening to this and who listens to this. Beyonce got cheated on. Beyonce.
Okay.
With Jay-Z. And it's not because Jay-Z, I mean, I'm not sure why he did it or what's the reason why, but it happened. And they worked through their problem. They had therapy. They did their thing. And they went through it.
Everybody.
It's a dangerous game. But let me just be honest. I had this conversation with my lady, and I said, I love you so much that I even thought, because if a girl had cheated on me, I'm just like, boom, that's done deal. But I had to think, if I love this woman so much, I had to grasp the concept that if she was to ever cheat, that I could potentially forgive her because I love her that much, which is a crazy concept to even think about. So that's why I know who I found somebody who I really love, because in the same aspect, it's like I don't never plan on her cheating. I don't never plan on me cheating, but everybody's susceptible to it. You go out one night, you get some girl who rubbing on you, things might happen.
You putting yourself.
Come out.
Ain't about me. I'm just saying. I mean, anybody who said I would never. Anybody is susceptible to it. Yes, you're lying.
It's a maturity thing. So
it's
as an adult, whether male or female, you have choices. So at whatever point that you feel like this person is not enough, or I'm not strong enough, or I don't love this person enough to stop myself from doing X, Y, and you can't bring it to that person and be real enough and be like, look, this ain't working, or I need to do this and this, and you're cheating on the side, meaning that they don't know what's going on. There was no conversation. There was no boundaries reset. That's a maturity level. Like, you are not mature enough to articulate your thoughts or how you're feeling to go ahead and do that. Because if you're cheating, it's not like everybody cheats. One, I hate when everybody brings up the Beyoncés or whoever, because majority of y'all are not Jay-Z's, or there's certain different things on different levels where it's like, yeah, she forgave Jay-Z, but there's different things that go into that majority of the people out here are not giving.
So what you're saying is, if I make enough money, I can cheat and it's cool.
Huh?
So what you're saying is, if I make enough money, it's cool.
No, it's not if you make enough money, but it's more than just money. It's businesses involved. They're like, literally, they have their own empire they built, and the different things that go with that. So
it's not just money. That's what love is. Love is accepting somebody for their mistake, and that's their mistake. Are you in a relationship?
But I was speaking on the whole say Jay-Z thing, though.
Darnell, y'all let Jans finish her thought first.
I think there's a difference between a mistake. A mistake is one time, maybe. Even though I still strongly feel like you don't just trip and fall and have your thing fall into somebody else multiple times back and forth within an interval. Like, where did the mistake in, I have somebody significant at home or wherever, stop you from doing that? For me, it's not enough alcohol, not enough excuses or anything of that nature to change that as a mistake. But then when that mistake happens more than once, it's no longer a mistake, it's a pattern. And when you have a pattern of cheating, that's who you are as a person. So whether you are not mature enough to stop that or move on, or mature enough to figure out, it's great that he figured out, hey, I like being with different women, or I like what I get from different women. Okay, that's a mature level, but you should have figured that out before you settled to be monogamous with one person. Or at whatever point you knew that you were going to keep on cheating, or after the first cheating, you should have broke away from that person, find yourself and what you like, and then bring it to that person and y'all have that conversation. But what she did was settle. She settled because she was with this man that she loved and she wanted him to stop cheating, but to the point that he's not going to stop cheating, I'm going to settle and change my whole viewpoint of what we're doing here, because at this point, I still, whether it's she don't want to start over or I still just love you that much, I'm just going to go along with whatever you're doing, because guess what? We're in a relationship with all these women anyway. So we might as well put a name to it, because you're going to keep on cheating, because there was no change in there. So I don't
I have a couple questions for you. So are you currently in a relationship?
No.
What is your longest relationship?
On and off for like 4 years or so, but I wouldn't even count that as like an official relationship.
Okay, so she's been with this guy for 6 years, and if she's happy or not, like, she's in a relationship, and they could go along and be together for the next 20 to 30 years. Who's to say what they did is right or wrong? Now, you're defining of what you do not want. I think that's what we have a problem with, of defining what relationships should look like. We define that it shouldn't be 50-50. We define that it shouldn't, a woman shouldn't do this. We define what other people's relationships should be in when we need to listen to the people who have been together for 30 plus years. Do you know anybody who's been together for 30 plus years?
Yes, I do, but it's the difference between I don't want to be with somebody for 30 years and been cheated on for 29.
Once again,
that just makes no sense. I feel like the difference is, say if she met him and he was like, hey, I like being with multiple women or whichever the fact is, and then they had a conversation about that and she agreed to whatever, that's one thing. That's a whole, like, she already had her mindset. But to change something like, so before, you probably, was she ever into women like that, to be kissing and exchanging that, or did she change that because he kept on cheating and to make him happy? Like, a lot of women, even outside of this, a lot of women will agree to things such as, or even men sometimes, it doesn't go for which side, but they'll agree to things such as threesomes and things of that nature, just because they have a man that's not going to stop going outside the house. So they think to keep him, I'm going to start liking women or acting like I like women, because that's going to make him a little more stable than he was, which is not. You're pretty.
No, it's not. That's not accepting a person for who they are. And that's I think that's the reason why relationships fail, is because for me, I say, I told my girl, hey, listen, I'm gonna go out with my friends. I'm gonna hang out with my friends. I'm gonna spend time with them. This is a part of my life. And if you do not like that, then you don't like who I am, because I can change this for you, but I won't necessarily like it because I'm not who I am. And in this case, he was deceitful by cheating on her. But that's who he was.
That's the difference.
Then it's who he was.
That's who he is.
That's who he is. So then he came out, and she does have the choice to say, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna leave. And we all have that choice. Whether you want to blame, say, oh well, I didn't really have another choice. Yes, you did. You had a choice to stay. You had a choice to leave.
You had a choice to stay or leave, but at that point, once you're that deep, like, we're gonna be honest about how relationship works. Once you're that deep in and you're going back and forth, yes, she had a choice to stay, but there's other variables that go into that would push that choice to stay, which is not all on her own. Like,
yes, because she probably loved everything else about him except for this one part. If you love, this is how I know true love exists, because if you can love 10, 20 things about somebody, in this one part, you be like, man, I don't like that this person cheats on me. They treat me right. They pay all my bills. They do all these things. They do this one thing. You know what? Let's have a conversation about it. Why do you do this? That's why now she said, you know what? You're gonna cheat. I don't want you to cheat anymore. I'm gonna put it in my hands and say, okay, we can have this probably whatever relationship, whatever you call it, polyamorous relationship. Like, so she put it in her hands, even though she did not like it initially, and it did make her upset. She chose to say, he won't change, and I love everything else about this person. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna switch it up and do it this way.
So
and now me accept it.
10 years, 5 years, or whatsoever, where she's looking at herself and the choices she has made, and now she's resentful and she's not really full, because that's not what she really wanted or intended her life to be in that point. But she made that change because, yes, she loved that person and changed everything about herself so she can just be with this person, and hopefully that person be with her the way she envisioned it. But now down the line, they're probably not going to end up together anyway, because she built that resentment when she looks back. And a lot of relationships end like that.
Well, how you know their relationship going to end like that? You're projecting. You're
yeah, but what if
a lot of things?
A lot. Literally, if you look at the different reasons why relationships and things of that nature don't work, just like how they talk about a lot of marriages end because of finances and things of that nature, and people who are getting married aren't talking about finances, whether the wife or the husband has debt they didn't speak about, whether there's different things that they don't know. And you know why that ends relationships and marriages, because the little things that you thought you could overlook, you knew he wasn't saving money, you knew she was spending here and there on frivolous things and not taking care of her business. You knew that in the beginning of the relationship and before you got married, but you thought you can overlook or change how that person was. And now you're down the line, whether it's a year, whether it's 5 years, and you're thousands of dollars in debt, and now you're in resentment. You're resenting the person for being who they were. They were bad with money before. They're still bad with money, but now they're bad with money with you, and then y'all get divorced because there's little things, whether it's money, whether it's things like this that you overlook or change about yourself, and later on, if that's not what you want or what you like as a person, it's gonna come back up.
Well, how you know?
What do you blame it on?
People change, and that's the thing. She's fairly young. Maybe she decide, hey, maybe I do like this. Maybe I like the arrangement. Maybe there's other things about him that makes the cheating fungible, right? Like, it's not just like, I don't know, it seems like women at relationships, if you're cheating or you're not cheating, is whether you're good or bad. Like, it's multiple facets of a relationship that you're completely overlooking, right? Like, them four together, they could probably afford, easily afford a $7,000-8,000 mortgage, right? If they're all working.
I don't know what the video looked like, if that's what they were going for.
Be nice.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what their situation was, and I don't know what they were going for. But however, it's 5 people in one household. So by them bringing other people in that manner, like, there's other things that go into it than just her simply accepting he's with other women. You know, like, I don't know what they're all bringing to the table, but apparently it's working out. And I think you need to change. Like, we all need to change our definition of what a relationship is, because we keep thinking of 1 for 1, and you know that's very archaic.
I agree.
All right, go ahead, Chanel. I just wait.
I've been on fire over here. No. So to kind of, all right. First, I'll preface this by saying there is a certain level of introspect and accountability that one must have when going into a situation like that. You know what you can handle. You know what you desire. You know what you might be resentful of later. OJ, with respect to your point and accepting the person for who they are, I too have had that conversation with myself about, would cheating be a deal breaker in my relationship? I will have been with him for 9 years tomorrow. I've thought about that all the time. Like, shit, if I was to find out he cheated on me, would I really walk away? And I felt kind of insecure thinking about that. But for me, it was the why. Why would he have cheated? So I think for me, it's not so much as, oh, he cheated, I'm going to look past it though. I'm going to accept. I need to know why. I need to know what the reason for it is. With this guy, he's basically saying like, that one person wasn't enough for me. So I'm going to get everything I need from this group of women. That I'm not okay with. Because if you told me I was enough for you initially, you set me up for failure. So I'm not going to go into this polyamory happily. Like, nah, I feel forced. I feel coerced. And like Yam said, she probably didn't want to do that, but there's that accountability piece. She could have walked away. So her staying and being a part of it, she's complicit in it. I think polyamory works for some people. Like, that's their thing. But I think it would work better, and I'm on the outside looking in, if you go into it with that mindset. So had he presented himself as, I'm not fit for just one person, I'm meant to be spread around. If that's how he came with it and she was with it, I feel like he took that choice from her by cheating on her, knowing she was already invested. So there's a level of accountability that she needs to have, but that's not who he presented himself as. So that's not fair to her.
Well, I watched a little bit more of the video and some other stuff. He was cheating on his girlfriend with her. She didn't know that, but he already had a girlfriend when he met her, blah, blah, blah. But then, all right, they discussed that. Now they cool with it. She cool with him doing that. So that the other girls that are coming in already know what it is. Right. But one of the other things I wanted to bring up is like people bring up polygamy and all of that stuff is like it's a
polyamory,
whatever, man, the bad thing or whatever. But there's cultures that's the thing that they really live like that, like Mormons and cultures in Africa and India or whatever. They have multiple wives. They actually, that's how they live. That's a norm for them, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, I think culturally we look at it as bad. I'm a dude that I don't know. I couldn't have 2 girlfriends. I feel like that's way too much, but that's me. But some cultures look at that like you only got one wife because you broke.
That's what those cultures, you can't have those multiple wives. You can't provide.
I don't want y'all to confuse polyamory.
Maybe that's why they're
Darnell, hold up. Darnell. Yo, chill. So I don't want y'all to confuse polyamory with polygamy. Polyamory is it's not just like a man having multiple wives. It can be a man with one woman, another man.
Multiple romantic relationships.
It could have multiple relationships. It doesn't matter the sex. And it's no religious background behind it. That's the difference between polygamy and polyamory. So what we talking about right now is polyamory.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm gonna confuse that shit. I know I am. So polyamory.
Look, can we just use it
I was more
interchangeably? I
confused
mean, I
than-
think the panel knows what we're talking about.
Just say poly. Just say poly. That's fine. Just say poly.
Oh yeah.
What I want to say is, in the video, she said she liked girls, but the problem with it was he didn't communicate. He didn't know that. He didn't know that until she told him that. So, is that a matter of she started liking girls because she wanted to figure out why he was cheating so much, or she always liked girls and that's how they got into that polyamory relationship?
To me, that's not the question. The question is, did she prefer monogamy before that?
Yes.
Because Victoria Monet said it in an interview. She's like, she's bi. She's always been bi. She has a man. She's with the father of her child. She still likes women, but she's making a choice to be in a committed relationship with that one person. So it's not a matter of what your orientation is. It's, do you want to be monogamous or do you not?
I feel like with certain things, you just don't know until you're in it. And it's like you don't know what kind of person you don't want to date until after you date that person. Like I don't want to date a certain type of person. So in this case, it's like, and it's an extreme case for you to be in a poly relationship, and then after just say it doesn't work. You can now say, listen, I don't want to be in any type of relationship like that because for me, I don't like it. But I feel like, yeah, he lied, it was deceitful in how it happened, but now it appears that, I mean, just by the short clip, it appears that they're happy and they are young. So I don't know too many older people in polyamory.
Hold on real quick. Hey Lex, can you turn your camera off? All right, thank you. Go ahead, OJ.
Oh yeah. It doesn't. I haven't seen a lot of older poly relationships, so I'm not sure if they work or not. I'm not sure if my girl says she wants to have another girlfriend. What if your husband said he wanted to have another girl? Would you just say like no to it, or what if he truly said, listen, I love you so much, and I really thought I couldn't be with any other woman. It's not you. I still want to be with you, but I have this urge to be with other women, and I don't want to cheat, and I don't want to go out, and I want to be with you. But I just really want to be intimate with another woman. And he's coming to you with his genuine feeling of how he feels. So you can make a choice. You can say, you know what? No, we're gonna have to end this. It's not what I want. Like, boom. Now, all that time that you have spent, all that love that you say you have for this person, and he truly expressed himself about how he felt, and you said no, which is fine. But also, you can say yes. So you know what? I really feel strong about this no, but it's not a total boundary that I wouldn't be willing to try, because the relationship's over regardless, right? If you don't try, it's done. If you do try, it's done. No. So I think anytime someone truly expresses themselves about a relationship, it sucks. You saying no?
All right, hold on before you go in, Yams. Lex, did you saw the video? Did you get a chance to hear the video at all?
Yes, I did.
All right, let me get your response before they start going crazy.
Okay, so just on polyamory, not polygamy, right?
Right. So my question was, so we already asked like how important love was. You weren't here for that part, but the as far as what are you willing to do for love? Are you willing to share your love with somebody? Are you want exclusivity? You know what I'm saying? What as far are you willing to look at polyamory? Give your insights as far as like the video goes.
Well, before, whenever I was in my 20s, then I, was looking at, polyamory, just because it's just like the more the merrier. I like to give love, and if other people can give love, we're not going to have a shortage of it, especially whenever it comes down to home economics, sexual activity, everybody just basically being in a ecosystem where it's just like we all helping each other out, and we all are doing it lovingly. Like we genuinely want the best for each other, and we're going to do the best for each other because we have a vision in mind. We want to be a community. But I realize apparently it's too hard for people to actually keep trust within the community. And so then you got people that's out here, stepping out, got extra partners, not telling you and stuff like that, fucking up the flow. And so it doesn't always go the best. So I like monogamy better just because now I get to only focus on that one person and them keeping their word to our relationship and what we got going on instead of multiple people. So
I got a question about that. Like in a poly relationship, I always just thought like, all right, minus beyond the sex, how do you maneuver two other people? Like say y'all together all the time, like every day, whatever. If two people get in an argument, what is the other person? Are you supposed to like? How do you just play the backfield on both of them? Like, what do you do when you mad at the other person? I never understood that part for real. Like with 5 people, you know that 4 females living in a house together, spending that much time together, that is gonna be some disagreements or arguments. And then just with him, he's gonna like when he argue with 1, is he arguing with 4, or is he, how does that work? That's my question about like shit like that. But I ain't.
So,
Go ahead, Chanel.
All right. Just to kind of piggyback off his question, with polyamory, I understand like one person can have multiple relationships with different people, but does it mean that all of those people technically have to have a relationship with themselves? Like, is it all interwebbed, or can they have other relationships with, or is it case by case? Like, how does that work?
I think they define it. I think they define it amongst themselves. So I say I think we all want a single answer to like relationships of how people do a certain thing. And I really think when it comes down to our relationships, like we define what we like. I guarantee there's something that you and your husband would do that most people be like, "What? Why y'all do that?" It's like, but it works for y'all, and it's for every relationship. And I think once again, we try so hard to define what relationship should look like when it's up to the people themselves to say what we do and do not like. They might do a whole group session. They might not do it at all. And the guys might say, why y'all don't do it all? It's like people might say different things of what the relationship should be, but the only people who really should define it is them.
I think there's different terms for it though, specifically within like polygamy and stuff. There's I don't know all of them, like polyandry, like they kind of break down into different levels, because it's like one of the levels of polygamy is kind of like how you said, there's different relationships within this one big relationship. And then sometimes it could it is really what they define. So there's people who are polygamous or are poly, and they're all is that one person who has a different partners, but they don't interact with each other as far as. But then there's sometimes in this video, it just seems like they do, because the girls were kissing and stuff. So like you said, it's very important as far as what it's defined as within that circle.
Yeah, it definitely takes a whole lot of communication and understanding and having consideration for all parties involved. So everybody needs to basically get, I guess what you want to say, everybody needs to have those frequent times where y'all are going to come together and y'all going to basically put y'all truths out on the table. However you feel, you need to always be addressing that, within the whole, group or whatever relationship that you have going on. But that's even in a monogamous relationship. It'll fail if y'all aren't up to speed with how each other is feeling and doing and what you actually want out of your relationship. Or if anything changed, you need to be bringing that up. So it's no different. It's just on a economies of scale, in a sense, where it's just going to be more parties that you have involved.
That sounds draining for 5 people. Like, you got to communicate with 4 other people. Sounds draining.
I feel like the issue for the poly as friend, as I would say, even though being poly has been, or polygamy has been around for the beginning of time, but I feel like now is becoming within the last few years more of a trend, just because there's the difference between people being poly, like you were saying, someone mentioned before, whether it's financially, but with all these people in one relationship, we can work and grow together and do different things. Then there's people who are poly just because specifically they just don't want to be with one person, whether it's sexually or romantically. They just need to pull from different people to get what they want. But I think now, a lot of times we're hearing it a lot more because it starts from a place of deceit, as we were speaking earlier, and cheating. So a lot of times you hear now in social media where it starts as, I wanted multiple men or multiple women and I couldn't be faithful, so I feel like poly is the way for me. And then that's where there's these relationships and situations starting, because it's starting from a place where a conversation wasn't had. There wasn't no communication. So there's no issue for me. There's no issue with being poly or poly relationships or whatever, is to each their own. But I feel like the communication and the clear boundaries and talk is the important part, because if you're not starting on a good foundation and your foundation's messed up, there's no way that can really work out. In my opinion, there's no way that if it's started on a foundation of lies, that really just makes it more problematic in the system. Like, there's no issue with being poly, but it's about the maturity, it's about the communication, it's about telling the truth and being real and putting it all on the table in the beginning.
See, that's why it's hard for me to say that even how he did it was wrong, because like she knew what kind of guy he was. Like, he knew that she knew that he was a playboy, and that's what I mean. That's why I always blame both parties when it's something that's wrong, because like in this case, she knew what kind of guy he was. Have him cheated, and she continued to stay, whatever the case may be. And this goes with women who cheat a whole bunch on guys and do different things, and the same thing for, in this case, with a man who's cheated. So I feel like we have the example of a man who is being with multiple women, but let's flip now a woman who has two guys, which is, it might seem pretty rare, but it happens a lot, where there's a man who she's with. She said, hey, listen, I just want somebody else. And he doesn't want to lose her, because he's like, yo, this woman is amazing. She does everything. She makes a lot of money. Or she's just somebody who I care for so much. And now he's choosing another guy. It's like, it happens. So once again, who's to say that what they're doing and how they did it is wrong? In this case, he did not ask her. But also women do the same thing, where they cheat. And like I said, it's not as rare, or it doesn't come out as publicly as much, but it happens where a woman cheats, and then it's like now she's in a joint relationship. She has brother husbands. Yeah, brother husbands.
Yeah. All right, so let me read these comments. I gotta catch up on these comments. They young, and that mess isn't going to last longer than 5 more years. When she really realizes that she allowed herself to be available to him like this, sad. 5 more years that's a stretch.
That's a long ass time.
Specific number.
Hey, Carol, you in a relationship?
Was she already saved?
Yeah, she is. Yes, she is. She married. Why are we putting our own standards on other people and assuming their level of happiness based on our own beliefs?
I wholly agree.
He playing Darnell Jones, where I want to be for her. That was to you, OJ.
I know he always shooting slugs. See, I be trying to save him, man. He's
straight using these young ladies. Yeah, coochie.
Carol,
one poly relationship won't be the same as another. Just like one mono relationship can look different from another. That's true.
All true.
So how does y'all opinions change if we take the sex completely out of the relationship? It sounds like everything is sexual based. What about a completely abstinent poly relationship?
Ooh.
I'm gonna let you go.
Sorry. So I'm a lot emotionally. So I feel like that would be like advantageous for somebody, like if they have big feelings. But I feel like to an extent I have an ecosystem for that. Like, I don't need to be in relationships with different people, because I have different people I can go to for my big feelings. I have my mother, I have my friends, a therapist. So I think if it's not sexual or romantic, I feel like you can have an ecosystem in place that you don't require to necessarily be in relationships, intimate relationships with other people, or romantic relationships with other people. If that makes sense.
I was at work, and I had talking to some guys, and these guys make a lot of money. And some guy was telling me a story, and I was like he essentially had 2 families at one point, 2 separate families, and the women didn't know. And I realized, like, dang, like you the reason why you had this option, because you made a lot of money. and you could afford two separate families.
No,
not saying
no.
I don't agree to it.
No, how he divide the time? How?
Hey,
He had
bro, you gotta go to work,
he had a
man.
girlfriend initially. He had a girlfriend,
No.
and then he worked long hours. And he lied about doing overtime, and yeah, but he made a lot of money. He didn't necessarily need the overtime. He's like, I gotta go in and work overtime. He make
because the other family getting fucking government assistance.
no, he would no he bro. This dude make upwards to like
because he making that money don't mean because you got to think about it. If he got two families that don't know about each other, that means he got one married and the other ain't married, which means this one over here ain't married can still get government assistance.
You can have multiple. Technically, you can have multiple families. I got kids with multiple people, and I gotta do shit. I gotta pay this. I gotta pay that. I gotta pay that. I don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Like,
so, but he end up having both of them live under the same roof. But he does it financially. He doesn't. It's like he's an older guy now too. So he doesn't. It's not like he's just out here trying to have sex with them. The point that Westside made, he's not out here just having sex with them. He's out here just providing for them. And his kids got a chance to,
He got both women under the same house
on the same roof.
He bought them a house and he moved to the apartment. I feel it.
No, he had like a 6-bedroom house. This dude is paid, man. I'm talking about like he got bread. He drives like 3 different cars a week, and he makes a lot of money. But he got a chance. But he wasn't bragging about it because he did lose. He lost a lot of. It sounded like he was cheating still. But he got a chance to since he made so much money, he got a chance to move both of his families underneath the same household. And I'm not sure how happy it was or how it worked, and he didn't go too much detail about like the polyamorous part of it.
I know a dude that was doing illegal activities, and he was able to buy this big ass house. But even before he bought the big ass house, if he fuck with you, he paying your rent type shit. And he bought a big ass house and moved like multiple of his baby mamas in the same house. And
he fucking up the game.
Well, that's just,
he fucking the game up.
Once again, I don't write the rules on what he do in his relationship. So it's just like if it worked for him, I don't agree with that to have 2 separate families. But then again,
I think
Cam, what if you got caught slipping, man?
Nah, don't put that on Cam.
Yeah,
I'm messing.
I'll say there's statements from you, OJ, where I think you'll throw like a scenario or a statement out, and it just I feel like you kind of push the accountability from the men away and make it like this group statement and just make it like kind of, but it's not right. But it like, it is what it is. It's like at some points, yeah, there's decisions that are being made, but you have to be accountable for these wrong decisions. And even if it worked out at the end or however, and like, we can't say that people live their lives. I feel like we keep on seeing like the idea of projection out there. We're not, well, at least for me, we're not projecting. It's just seeing what's right and what's wrong. So
there is no right and wrong.
The wrong is the lie. The cheating is the wrong. Not being honest up front.
I agree.
So it's not the sex that's the issue that we keep on coming back to. Coming back to is the lie. So say if he was honest with both of those families from the beginning, that would be a whole different story. But he had these 2 different, however, if he was able to do it financially, that doesn't really matter because he was still lying. And then honestly, with the 2 separate families, both families are going to be missing out on time and things of that nature. And even if he was able to split the time evenly, he's running himself ragged with lying. And it's the deceit and the lying that's the problem here. Nobody cares if they have a bunch of people that they either sleep with, talk with, have a relationship. It's just the way you go about it. And I feel
that's
like
fucked up for the kids too. Like, damn, I got a whole nother brother. Like, we could have grew up together.
Well, yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
Like who gets affected. Not only we're talking about the lovers, but like he said, it affects the kids, the families, and different things of that nature. It's like at some point you need to be mature enough and take that accountability and say, hey, have that talk with yourself before, like you need to get yourself straight before you get with anybody else. And that's just the whole thing.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm not trying to make it where these men are doing their mistakes shouldn't be penalized. But it's the same reason why when somebody in your family come and tell you, well, he did this and he did this, and then the next week y'all good, but your family now beefing with him. So because you learn to forgive your partner more than somebody else. That's why you're not supposed to tell everybody your business. That's why you're not supposed. If you're going through some problems with your significant other, you're not supposed to tell everybody your business because you're gonna get over it. The people who you tell, they probably hate that person now. So that's why I say I talk to tons of old people who have been in relationships for years and years and years, and it's not all Skittles and rainbows, and it's not just from the male side. Sometimes the woman backslide too, and she do something. It's a mistake that they make, and the reason why they stay together because they work through that problem. Okay, what did you do to make you cheat? This is you cheated. I didn't cheat, but you cheated. But you had a reason to. I'm the person who's supposed to love you forever, and I didn't love you in a way that you didn't feel love. Now I'm choosing to forgive you because now you're making some changes, and I'm also making changes too. I'm also going to love you in these ways that I missed out on. Because when you miss somebody for a long ass time, you forget to love them. You forget romance. Men, we forget romance. Women, they forget to pop that thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me being honest.
Pop that thing.
I mean, do it like you did in week 2.
All right, Uncle Luke.
No. Women, when you first started dating women, week 2, that first month.
I'll give a specific example for somebody I was living with. It wasn't necessarily popping that thing, but it was just like nagging, bro. Like, what are you nagging about, bro? Like, stop all that. Like, if you got something to say that in a regular voice or a regular tone, but understand I'm going to work every day. I'm doing all of this shit. I'm paying for all of this. If you got something to say that regular. All that nagging shit is annoying. So I don't want you to. I'm like, you doing all of that. I don't want you to pop that thing for me. Like this, like, man, move that shit around. Like I'd rather just like sleep on the couch type shit like that. But maybe I could have expressed that better.
Fuck that.
I sleep on the couch.
If I'm arguing, I ain't sleeping on no damn couch.
I don't like arguing though. You argue. I don't be arguing.
I don't like arguing.
But you do it.
I'm just saying these niggas that go and sleep on the couch, that ain't
no.
Me.
Well, I was watching the TV and I got sleepy.
Look, I go to the guest room maybe, or she'll go to the guest room, but I ain't going to the couch. My couch comfortable too, but I ain't about to sleep all night on it. 8 hours of sleep.
My couch.
I like sleeping on my couch. I slept on my couch last night.
Just be comfortable.
Once again, it goes back to me saying that we put too much emphasis on how somebody should run a relationship. And Yams, I'm not trying to say that. Once again, I'm not trying to say that a man shouldn't be accountable, but I feel like women, especially, always willing to tell another woman, "Oh, I wouldn't take that if I was you." It's like, well, girl, you're single. I had a girlfriend, and I promise you, her single friends knew relationships like the back of their hand. They were Dr. Phil and all these therapists for her, but they couldn't find a man to be with them for a whole year.
Those who can't do
get out of our relationship, girl. And I feel like this. Go ahead.
I want to face by saying, even like if I specifically say men this or accountability, I'm thinking like both sides. So if she's cheating and doing that same thing, she's wrong. So I'm not just saying men like wrong. For me, is wrong is wrong.
We hold all genders accountable.
We hold all genders accountable.
We do. But once again,
I was going to say that because OJ keep being like, well, what if the woman, it don't matter who it is.
Wrong. Like she's wrong. It's the same thing. You're wrong. Like stop lying. Be real. Be mature. Be an adult. Stop. Like,
but the lie has happened though.
That's my thing.
That's what people dwell on. The lies is like the lie has happened. They made a choice and they lied. It's in the past now. Where do we go from here?
It's not in the past.
You did say again?
It's not in the past.
The lie is in the past.
Okay, so even if you lie now, we make it in the present, and I'm trying to talk about it now. What? Let's talk about it.
I'm like, it's like now what? I would hope for a relationship to go that two people can make decisions and that were truthful during the whole relationship. That is ideal, but there is some point somebody's going to lie. There is some point where somebody who wronged someone, and all we got to do is how do we look past it?
There's a difference between the mistake and the pattern. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, you can forgive a mistake. Okay, you cheated once. I love you. I said I was going to be in this through thick and thin. We're going to figure out how to move on and things of that nature. And I also don't agree with all the time the what did I do to make you cheat? Because honestly, if you're feeling some type of way, you need to voice that before going. Like there's so many steps before cheating. So that's why I say cheating is literally a choice. So if you're feeling you need to speak with her, and if she's not hearing her or y'all not, because just because you're telling how you feel, you may not be communicating right, or she may not be communicating back to you right. That's where you can go to help.
So what happened? What happens? This is a lot of times. I run into this. I don't know about other dudes. I run into this a lot. By the time I'm communicating, I'm saying like the nagging stuff. I was like, bro, you keep bitching, and I said that multiple ways. Like, why you keep like you bitching every day, or you nagging all of this? I didn't necessarily cheat, but we going through it. Like, I don't want to do nothing with you. I don't want to talk now. I'm short. Now it's a whole nother other problem. And I communicated. Like, I'm like, well, I told you in multiple different ways. Like, you know, but if it was like, I know, and I could have cheated. I didn't even think about that. I was just like, dog, I'm done with this. Like, I just wanted to be done with the relationship. Mm-hmm. And so that, like, what do you do when you are communicating? And this is what I run into a lot. That's just one example. I run into this a lot. I'm telling you what I'm not liking this, and you continue to do the same thing. And I think a lot of men run into that. And the easiest way to break up with a girl is to get caught cheating.
Hey, yo, look, we in the after hours. We already an hour and 35 minutes. So anybody that needs to go, y'all can go ahead and leave. But this is what I just did. I just dropped the link in the chat. I got people requesting, or I got one person requesting. Y'all in Westside want to come up here, so I put the link in the chat. If y'all want to come up here, man, woman, come up here. Y'all got something y'all want to get off y'all chest and say? Y'all come up here. Y'all click that link. Y'all add your name. You got to be on video. If I don't know who you are, you got to be on video so I can see who you are, and then talk to the person you want to talk to. Also, this is the Iggy D podcast. I'm your host, Tote. Thank y'all for joining us. We got 5 people in here. I don't know if y'all just joined us, but thank y'all for joining us. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the like. Share with your friends, getting these comments. Now, I want to respond to Yans while we wait for other people to come up in here. If that's cool. I haven't really said too much this whole podcast. You said there were steps to cheating, and I said that's not true. As far as a man goes, it's about opportunity. It's like how OJ said earlier, if a man puts himself in a position where a woman's throwing herself at him and he is a weak man or lacks discipline, that's going to happen. And it could be nothing that his wife could have did. They could be having sex every fucking day or had a good communication. He could still go step out if he want to step out. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You saw in that poly in the video, he said he was having sex with different girls every single day. He was at the health department every weekend. You know what I'm saying? If somebody want to cheat, they gonna find a way to cheat. And there's no steps to it. It's not nothing specific that they girl or they guy was doing. They just gonna do what they want to do.
Oh no, definitely.
You can't force that on nobody.
But when I was
what happened to my audio?
Before you get to like when we're talking about people having an excuse to why
I can't hear anymore.
It's like if you felt like she wasn't
being
attentive enough or sleeping with you enough or cooking or cleaning or she's too sad, whatever it is, if you knew that before you cheated and that's the reason why you cheated.
I don't hear anything you saying to me.
We hear you though.
Just mute your mic then.
Yeah, we hear.
So for me, that's just like that's a pre-thought to before you start cheating. So if you're having a pre-thought before, like, okay, she's not even. This her third time.
Say her. Use a woman for example. Because I feel like it's stuck on just a man cheating.
So maybe it'll be easier if I go, okay. So if I'm just like, okay, this the third time he didn't take out the trash this week. The neighbor keep on having to help me with this and that and whatever. I'm tired of him not taking out the trash and cutting the grass. I'm gonna go give the neighbor some because, like, you know, he's not doing it. Instead of doing, before I even got to, I already thought about why I'm upset at him. I thought about the things that I feel like he could have been doing better. And I thought about whoever I felt like in the moment was better at it at that moment or was a better candidate than him. Then I went to go cheat. Like, that's a whole process you did before you even went to your person. And then before, even if you went to your person and talked to them, if you act like, depending on how deep the relationship is, there's always counseling. There's always different steps. Like if you really love that person and that's your person, there's definitely things that you can do before you get to that point when you're giving that excuse of why you cheated. But there's definitely people where, like, if that's in their nature, if they're a cheater, that's just what's going to happen. They're going to cheat. And there's nothing I can do. And that's why I don't really agree with people being a reason to why someone's cheated, because if you're a cheater, for the most part, no matter how much I change or do better or fix that, if you can't control yourself and your urges, that's what it is. And there's nothing I can do that, like, there's plenty of people who cheated on somebody, but like, that person was perfect. There's nothing they could change. Like, that's just who they are. So I don't really like putting that accountability on the person that got cheated on.
But not all people are like that though. But
It's never all people. I'm just saying in those situations.
So I think that's kind of a mixed signal. First off, Yams, you've been cooking all night. I ain't gonna lie, you done had me hot at this phone, man. I couldn't press the words fast enough, but you also been cooking. So my question is, one, I don't think it's fair for you to group everybody in the same category. And when you say, hey, this person had this time to think through this situation and and contemplate how they was gonna cheat. I think that may be the case for some, but definitely not all. Sometimes the opportunity just presents you. You don't go out with any plans of cheating. Cheating can just happen. But I also don't think it's fair for you to be like, hey, man, the neighbor helped me with the trash. The neighbor cut the grass. He had the edge up. I'm going to get this motherfucker some pussy. And then at the same time, say that it's not the person's fault who got cheated on, because obviously it was his fault that he didn't take the trash out, that he didn't cut the grass. So I think those two is conflicting ideologies that you spin, and it ain't really fair to both sides.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, it's really hard to just say, oh, this is a blanket example for all relationships, because I'm not sure who was saying it, but there's so many variables that goes into a relationship. Like, it's somebody, it could have been, he didn't get the trash out, but also it could have been because he cheated prior to and you forgave him. Or it can be, it can be so many things of why a person will cheat, let alone who cheating. And it's like, it's the ideal relationship, right, would be just to be with somebody, if you like monogamy, is to be with somebody, you never cheat, y'all love each other forever, they never do nothing wrong, you never have any arguments. Beautiful relationship. But if you're in a relationship right now, you've been with somebody for the last year, oh, y'all didn't argue. Y'all relationships been on the rocks. You never argued with your husband in 10 years?
We don't argue. I don't argue because I'm sensitive. I know that I can't take what I throw. So I'm calculated in how I communicate. I protect myself. So we've grown over the last 9 years to communicate. We literally don't argue. We don't raise our voice. Do we disagree? Sure. And I'm not trying to play semantics with the words, but we literally don't argue. Like, we just don't. We communicate the same. Like, he's my safe space, I'm his. We take breaks from each other. Like, yeah, have I slept in a separate room from him? Sure. But did we get to a point of anger? Nah. We don't go that far. Okay. We don't have to.
And see, I like that you said that, because Cam, because you just briefly said, is that you will argue, but y'all not sleeping in a separate bed, or y'all sleeping in a separate room, but there's no sleeping on the couch or anything like that. And that's what works for your relationship. Once again, I could say whatever you said right there. I wouldn't know. You have to argue. I've heard a woman say, and Yams, I want you to know, I am like the friction kind of guy. I love women. I'm not a feminist, but I rock with women.
I was about to say
I just want you to know this is who I am. That's my whole purpose, just to be friction. But it's like I can disagree with everything you said about your relationship. That's your relationship, and that's what works for y'all. So once again, we're not supposed to group every relationship the same, because it's not the same.
I think we keep on beating the dead horse about, like, I think everyone's aware, like, whether it's relationship or anything, we all know there's variables to anything. Like, so I can't really put a blanket, like, all people are like this, or all men or all women are like this, all relationships are like this, all situations. We are understanding of that, but in the different examples that we are giving, it's like, in these specific examples, these things could have been done better. These things, maybe if you would have did it this way, not saying it was going to give you the perfect ending, but maybe this would have communicated or fixed some things that were going on between, like, certain people. I think it's just really, for me, it's big. Like, communication is a big part. And then even though you communicate, that doesn't mean you're communicating effectively. You can say something 500 different times, but if it's not an effective communication, especially for the person that you're speaking to or trying to communicate, or in a way that they can understand or receive that message, it doesn't really matter what you say or how many times you say it. So I think fixing the issue within communication, and that's why I'm heavy on, like, telling people sometimes you just need counseling. And I know in our community that's not like a big thing, speaking to somebody professional that can kind of break down what you're saying, because a lot of times y'all might be saying the same thing or having the same feelings, but y'all can't articulate properly to each other, so y'all keep on butting heads, and it goes from that. But from whatever it is, I just feel like there's just certain things that, like, you're wrong, or this is not the way it's supposed to be done, whether eventually you fix it or not. There's just certain things you just don't do, whether we're talking about same relations and stuff like that. It's just like there's a line, an obvious line.
It's your line. Once again, you when you say that it's one thing you just don't do, that's the line you're already putting the line of just relationships. This is something you just don't do in relationships. And some people do.
Where you could put a line there. Is that not like there's certain things where it's like you're wrong based on how y'all communicated. So if you're having a monogamous relationship with someone and you go out to cheat, or you have parameters or boundaries with your person, how y'all said it, and you go outside of that, that is wrong. No matter what. We don't know what those boundaries are, but based on the boundaries y'all set and y'all spoke about in the beginning and communicated with each other, once you go outside of that or operate outside of that, you are wrong. Like, you're doing something wrong. And that's why people generally, when they're cheating, they're hiding it, or they're doing something they're not supposed to do. You're hiding it because you know that you're doing something you're not supposed to do. Because if you weren't, you would be out in the open with it. Your person would be the first person you tell that you're doing that. But if you got to hide it in any way or make it sound differently, then you know what you're doing. Like, you're fully aware, no matter what the relationship is.
In dating, do y'all make it known that you dating someone else, or you dealing with someone else, or is that just like?
Yep.
How do you make that known?
You either gonna get with it or you're gonna get in line.
How you make that known? Like, we dating, we going out, like, because I'm the type, like, if we dating, it's understood. We ain't established no relationship. I don't want to hear about you and no other nigga. Like, I just know, like, why you bringing that up? I'm gonna assume that you're dealing with somebody else just because, like, I'm gonna assume it, but I don't want to hear about it. Like, oh yeah, I went on a date with this nigga yesterday.
No, I mean, it doesn't even have to be that. It's just like communicating. Are we exclusive or not? Like, if we're not exclusive, that's the end of the conversation. It don't gotta be, yeah, we went to Pound Town last night with such and such.
Whoa.
All that. I'm just saying, like, it don't.
You don't got to.
Just because you dating don't mean that you have to be on.
The guys talked about this. The guys talked about this on a show before. But women, would y'all want to know y'all man cheating on y'all, or y'all just you would want to know?
You said cheating.
Cheating?
You mean like? They want to.
I want to know, because you out here having fun. What about the fun I could be having? Do you know how many people how many people you push aside, and it's just like, I just said no to homie over here. He was gonna pay this or take me out and do the stuff you're not doing, but I'm trying to be faithful to you, and you over here.
Whoa.
He gonna take out the trash, Clem. Obviously, that nigga ain't taking out the trash, bro.
Take out the trash, dog.
It's a crazy. What you mean the stuff that he ain't? What if he doing everything for ideal? What if he doing everything for you, but he's stepping out?
But that's still not fair, because why can't I have fun?
I don't know.
That's only in the West, dog.
What the fuck y'all talking about?
No.
Think people get tired, like women get tired of men.
I wouldn't want to know like that you're cheating.
You wouldn't want to know?
Let me stop acting like I'm a cheater or I'm benefiting from cheaters or something, man. Cheating is bad, all right? Everybody know that.
I wouldn't want to know if I'm not gonna do anything about it. Like, if I'm happy, I wouldn't want to know. Like, let me be dumb. Just cheat correctly. Cheat not correctly, but do it right so I don't figure it out. Because if I know,
that's how I feel too.
Action,
what I don't know ain't gonna hurt me.
What about this? In Japan, it was like a few street interviews where he was walking around. I know it's a different country. It's not America, obviously. But in Japan, they was doing street interviews, and they was asking women like, "Hey, what if your man was cheating on you?" And he was like, "Well, I wouldn't care if it was with a prostitute. or with a woman of the night. But I would care if it was with somebody like another woman because it had the emotional attachment to it. Would it matter?
Either way, it's wrong. If you're spending money and it's not on me and it's on somebody else, it's a problem.
You're giving her money? You bought her food?
Well, I mean, would you rather him pay for it, or would you rather him have actual feelings for who he's having sex with?
I would rather him not do it at all. Both would be triggering for me. If you spend our money on someone else, that's triggering. If
I'm
you
saying,
have,
okay, I get that, but which one's worse?
I can't address.
I for me, like thinking emotional is just worse, just because for the fact that like sometimes it's not always a factor where like he's sleeping with somebody is so good he's gonna leave or do this and this, but like once somebody gets your emotional, like and really like y'all get a connection, and that person's never going nowhere. So a lot of times they like people will pass it off like, oh, that's nobody, I'm just cheating or sleeping with them, but it keeps on that same person, and that's because that person they have like some kind of connection, and that's when it keeps on going on.
I would rather you have the connection though than to fuck up your house over something you don't care about.
And then that's another thing.
Like that's stupid to me. You don't give a fuck about her, but you sabotage. I think that's worse.
Somebody clean cut, less likely to bring home something.
I am once again. I'm at the point, especially because I feel like I know I'm truly in love with this woman who I'm with, and I'm going to be with her forever. And there will be some times where our relationships will be on the rocks. It just happens. It's just time, right? It's just what happens. And I said it earlier. If she was to cheat, because we're all susceptible to it, she can go out with her friends and go out one night, and some shit can happen, and vice versa. I can go out and some shit can happen. I mean, she has to trust me. I have to trust her. And it might come up where it's like, I find out she cheat or she acting a little weird or something like that. Because I'm not sure if anybody has been with somebody who cheat or been people cheat. And you can always know when they acting a little weird. So, anyways, I find that out, and now do I say, dang, our relationship is done. The 20 years we've been together is done now because she cheated on me, or do I say, well, fuck, well, she got to do something to make up for this? What do you do?
That's
do you give up the happinesses that you had because someone made a mistake? And it's not just one mistake. She kept talking to him. They kept dating, and she lied to me. She lied to me.
Okay, land the plane, big dog.
Yeah, I'm fan to. She lied to me. It's deceitful. So what do you do?
West Side. Well, let West Side get in just to see our these are our additional, I guess. Go ahead, West Side.
Is he talking?
No, I think he has something on mute. He's on mute.
He's on mute.
He
fixing his headphones.
No,
hey, go X out and come back in. X out and come
back
in.
I ain't gonna lie. If whatever it is, if you forgive somebody, stop bringing that shit up. Same.
Too.
You don't get to
I'm saying the same thing. Also, if I forgive, I gotta stop saying the shit too. But I don't like that. If you say that, oh, you did this, man.
It's a difference between their face and just bring it up like, okay, so say if you are somebody who kept on cheating, it's a pattern, and I decide to forgive you. Every time we talk, argue, every time you do something wrong, I throw it in your face. That's one thing. But say if you're exhibiting the same kind of actions you were when you were cheating, or when I caught you these things and I say, hey, is everything okay? Or like, I'm a little worried because this is how you acted when we did this. That's not the same thing. Because I feel like if you are a habit, like if you keep on cheating and you always flush the toilet twice when you cheat, and one day I hear that toilet flush twice, I'm gonna be like, is everything okay? And that's not like throwing it in your face.
No, that's different, but
can y'all hear me?
West Side?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, my bad. Well, this kind of answering OJ question. Me personally, I feel like that depends on your level of understanding and your level of maturity. Whether you decide to forget a person, how many times you decide to forget a person. I said this in a comment earlier, but I think we associate love with being a finite resource. Like if I had one kid and I love them, once I have my second kid, I don't love my first kid any less. And that's not saying it's an excuse for cheating, but if all your needs is being met, and I'm just saying from the man perspective, we always hear this from a woman perspective. If your dude cheating and he a billionaire, you just gonna have to suck that up. That's like the common consensus, for a lot of people. But in the sense that if all your needs is being met, and you can get to the source of why whatever's being done and how you affected the situation, hey, some people not mature enough to handle that. Some people not understanding enough to handle that. And if that ain't you, then don't do it, because that's gonna make for a toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying? But if you are and you can get to the bottom of it and you can understand what's really transpiring, then shit, to each his own.
I agree. Yeah, I'm co-signing that. That's what I've been saying like most of the show.
Hold on, OJ. Let me get some people that ain't talked to in a little while. Go ahead, Lex. You got anything to say?
About the cheating?
Good. About
it.
It's been brought up.
Oh,
no, I thought you was frozen. You was stuck.
Cause I'm just like cheating. I just don't feel like there's a reason to cheat. Like, I mean, you need to really be pushing each other to do better and inspiring each other to, basically look into what each other, needs are in this relationship. And if y'all are still aligning to what you had said from jump whenever y'all first were, dating and in your relationships and such. So it's just, you need to figure out why y'all are in this disalignment, like why y'all are not aligned at that point. And because that will drive, somebody to, I guess, go into cheating. But y'all have to always work at it with that relationship. Like, you always have to communicate and understand, like, where do we have any gaps going on? Like, you good, you straight, you sure? But it all has to come from you speaking your truth, and you have to do that wholeheartedly. But if you're not doing it wholeheartedly, you just half-assing it because you don't want to offend the other person or frazzle them, because you don't want to be having, hearing all this nagging. Then it's just like it's not going to be a fruitful relationship, and somebody's going to be getting the short end of the stick at the end if you keep on not bringing up issues, because that's how y'all grow, is by resolving these issues. So the cheating thing, cheating, nah. You already have it in the back of your mind that you're going to leave at some point if something doesn't happen. So it's conditional. Love is unconditional. So that whole part right there, where people is like, oh, ooh, I would cheat, then you're not wholly invested in that relationship at all. And you probably need to go. You probably need to leave and figure it out yourself.
Sometimes you know it's a relationship before you even start cheating. Like, sometimes you're done, and sometimes you don't cheat. Sometimes you're just done. You're trying to figure out the way to, how do I end this amicably? Like I've been ready to leave a relationship. We got an apartment. We got to share a lease. I'm like, I just got to make it 3 more months, and then shit, she can go her way, I go my way.
Like, it's really like, I think sometimes
We didn't make it them 3 months.
It comes from them trying to be like non-confrontational, or like how you say, even amicably. It's just not always going to be like that. Sometimes bridges are going to burn. People are going to be upset. But if you got to go, you need to go. Like, wrap it up. Even if you're there for 3 more months, listen, on this day, I decided this doesn't work no more. We're going to be here for 3 more months. I ain't going to do this. You're not going to do that. Or we're going to figure out how we're going to live here for the next 3 months. But you know what? After this, I'm leave. Like, you just need to communicate and like let that know, because let that be known, because it's pretty much you're taking the choice away from somebody. Like, at some point, like, by trying to protect somebody's feelings, or like, for whatever reason you cheat or lie and stuff like that, you're ultimately taking someone's choice away.
Well, once I decided I'm done with this relationship, you don't have a choice in that no more. Like, I'm done with this relationship.
But if you're done, why didn't you you communicate that? There's her choice in you being done. What if she just like, okay, you're done today, I can just leave tomorrow, I don't want to stay here for 3 more months?
No, I didn't necessarily.
He been saying he want to leave before that.
I didn't necessarily. We signed an agreement to be here for a year. We didn't meet that year yet. So I'm like, bro, I'm gonna pay my part of this while we here, and then whenever it's over, we can amicably just separate. I didn't communicate that, but I just what else I'm gonna say? But
and that's the thing. You made a choice and you decided on her behalf, because on that day, if you would have felt that way and had that conversation with her, she has the right to have a choice to be like, you know what, you right, I'm gonna stay here, pay or whatever. Or if she chose to break the lease or do whichever she wanted, that was a choice for her to make, but you made that choice for her by not communicating how you felt in her head. Because even though you were done, what if she thinking like, oh, we about to get a bigger one or do this? Like, it's just different things. Like once you feel a certain way or your feelings change or shift, that's why, like she said, you got to pull it all out on the floor, communicate it, tell the other person, no matter how it may, let them be in control of their own emotions and give them that choice to make on their own. Don't take the choice away from them.
So can I ask a quick question real quick? Just for like I feel like we all in the same age range, more or less. And I ask this question because I feel like as kids, we was probably the worst generation to get it as far as being over sexualized and shit. So we push everything towards a sexual manner. That's just the reality of it. So I try to pull the sex out of stuff a lot of times to see how I would think if the sex wasn't involved. So my question to y'all is all levels of cheating the same, or is one cheating act more egregious than the other? In the sense, if I'm cheating with somebody emotionally, we never had intercourse a day in my life, but I go to this person and I'll talk to this person and let them know everything that I should be telling you as my partner. Is that the same? Do you feel the same level of deception as you feel if I'm sleeping with this person?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I feel like men are more guarded about their feelings than they are with their dick. Okay.
Exactly. So you talk to her about your deepest secrets and how you feeling and your plans, and you couldn't talk to me, and I'm supposed to be your person. It's just like, it's like right there next to buying somebody food.
So that's why women are more willing to forgive a man for having sex than they are willing to forgive a man for emotionally cheating. That's just point out how it is. Y'all know how big of a difference that is. Y'all know how big that our emotions for just some random girl than it is a woman who we actually in a relationship with.
But I
it's
think
bad for me though. It's just all bad.
Yeah, like
both of them.
It off as some random girl, but like a lot of times it's not some random girl. So like, even if it's like the first time we had it, like that might be a girl you've been seeing in the club or wherever or in the library multiple times, and now this is your chance because she finally swiped by you and did like a little shit.
James, how many times have you been cheated on? How many men?
That's it. You wild.
What kind of girls be in the library?
I have never been cheated on. Never
I'm trying
been
to find out.
official conversation like we're in a monogamous situation here. Secondly, with anybody I talk to, and well, in the time when I was entertaining people and things of that nature, my first thing I always talk to them about, and I let them know, listen, we know what this is, or whatever we're doing, let's put it out on the table. And if you wake up tomorrow, if you turn around and look at me and it's like, I don't like how this bitch breathes. Like, she mad annoying. I don't like you. Like, why is that one hair sticking out all the time? Whenever you feel like it's your moment that this ain't working, I want you to let me know so I can figure out how because don't worry, don't try to protect my feelings, because at the end of the day, I'm still going to have to worry about that myself. If I'm going through something, if something hurts me, if something doesn't hurt me, that's for me to worry about and me to handle and fix. Not saying I'm going to take everything good. I might be upset. I might wild out, but that's still on me. That's my choice to do that. But at whatever point you don't want to be a part of this, don't lead me on or don't keep me going thinking this is like, I'd rather you be honest and be real.
No conversations don't ever go like this. Like you can
all those times, like certain things, like say if I talk to somebody, ask you have a girlfriend or whatever, and you say no, but you really did have a girlfriend. You don't know what type of girl I am, because you could have been like, oh yeah, I got a girlfriend. I could have been like, I don't care because I want you. But you took that choice away from me, so I can't even express that. You could say, I want to date other women or sleep with multiple people or have a threesome. I could have been like, I'm down with that. But if you had that conversation and gave me a chance to give you a choice or really have a chance to really decide for myself in a situation, we could have been in a whole different spot right now. We could have been having a lot of fun. We could have been doing all this different stuff. But no, you lied.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen dudes go out and they be like, "Yeah, I got a girl or whatever. I got it. But what's up with you? Why you worried about that? Blah blah." And I seen that work. But I'm talking about when you in a relationship with somebody, you tell them, "Hey, bro, like this, what you doing? I don't like that." It could either be, usually in my situations, they start trying to flip it, talk about what you doing and blah blah blah, and you don't get nothing resolved. Like,
I mean, it
easy.
depends on the type of person you're dealing with, though. Like, if their reaction is what you anticipate,
woman.
it's probably not.
That's not every woman.
Majority.
Hey, has anybody had a different experience in this
Bro,
from the
have
males?
anybody tried to break up, bro? Like, you tried to break up and the girl ain't ready to break up. You can say, like, I just don't want this, bro. Like, I'm just like, I'm done. No, we can work it out, blah blah. What's bothering you? Let me blah blah, all of that shit. That shit.
Once you made
You mess around staying. I'll definitely stay because a woman persuaded me to stay with her longer than I wanted to, and it ended up breaking up bad because same situation, man.
Nah, why'd you stay? Why'd you stay? What kept you there?
The conversation where I put it was like, you know what? She's actually not that bad of a woman, so I'm just gonna stay.
And it's convenience. You already got used to this person. You want the person to change. You want that person to
And
be different.
like from earlier is
Wow.
How we wild?
Once I've made the decision that I'm leaving, I'm leaving.
But you have reasons why you leaving though. You
end up leaving. I mean, I end up leaving in the end.
I get my last little quickie in, and then I never talk to her again.
Once I'm leaving, I'm double back here.
Facts.
Like,
check my resume.
I got stabbed in
the double back is crazy.
Yeah, I got stabbed. And I ain't cheated in that relationship. And we ain't even, I ain't the type to argue like that.
Wait, she tried to stab you because you was breaking up with her?
No, it was like I decided a while ago that I'm done with this. And then in that 3 months where it was time to move out.
Oh.
see how that's
At that point, you playing with people though. I ain't say you deserve it. Nobody.
No, I didn't.
Be
No,
sad,
it wasn't no
but
cheating.
I mean,
though.
like, come on, bro.
What? It wasn't nobody cheated. It was I was still, I don't know if she cheated.
Man, you just heard these ladies tell you that the level of deception doesn't change. Just because you didn't cheat don't mean that you wasn't deceptive, my boy. It's the deception.
No, I think I heard the communication. Like I heard when Yam said communication, I'm like, all right, I didn't get no communication. I checked
You
out.
ain't do that either.
I was just done. I was like, all right, I'm done with this.
And sometimes you need to understand, like, you can't have like things like rent and leases holding you in toxic situations or situations you want to leave or know you should leave. Sometimes you need to break it. Sometimes you need to move. Sometimes you need to just take that L for your own safety.
I moved out that night.
All right, y'all. Let me get final thoughts. Then we gonna close this out.
Okay.
Anybody got something lastly to say? No rebuttals.
Final thoughts. Stop running away from conflict and start talking in the language of your partners, okay? So that then they can understand where you is coming from. Sometimes you gotta, bring yourself to their level to bring them up to your level in understanding, okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna say this for all women. I want you to take some time to actually listen to your man and actually think about the things that he's saying to you, that he's trying to convey to you, because he probably don't tell too many people about how he's feeling, and actually do those things sometime.
All right, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna say this to all women too. We don't communicate like y'all. Y'all be wanting to talk, but y'all don't never want to listen, bro. Y'all just want to talk and then just y'all listen to respond. Like, bro, I'm saying this. You want to argue about that, bro? Just listen to what I'm saying. And all right, I'm done.
Wow.
All right, I'll take next. Don't go to a blacksmith for advice on jewelry. Go to the jeweler. If you want to know something, go to the source. And if you a woman and you want your man to share and open up to you, then be receptive to that. Don't shun them for having feelings. When you want them to have feelings, you can't have both.
Yeah, fuck your feelings.
I'll go again.
I'm like, you go.
My advice is for the men. If your woman is nagging, she's probably trying to tell you something. You should listen too.
My
You said no rebuttals, right?
No rebuttals.
No rebuttals. Let it go. Things one. There's no need to lie. You just need to be real from the beginning. Be mature enough to speak your mind and say how you feel, and stand 10 toes down on that, and that's it. And then also just know communication is key, but not only communication, effective communication. And if you cannot effectively communicate with whoever you're speaking to, there's no issue with going to get some help, i.e. counseling. Go have somebody help y'all figure out what's going on since y'all can't.
That's a book.
Thank you.
Darnell, final thoughts?
I'm good, man. I don't have any thoughts.
All right, cool.
And that's better than what I thought he was going to say.
What?
Thank y'all for joining us. That's the XD Podcast, episode 4, the Eskimos.
Wait, hold on. Why did you name it that?
Because they share the same girl.
Oh, I thought
Eskimo Bros.
It's all Eskimo brother.
No, that's
Yeah, Eskimo Bros. I think everybody up here got an Eskimo brother, don't they?
Not none of y'all.
I know who your Eskimo brother is.
I know who yours is, man. Me and Darnell almost, but we both.
All right, we getting off. All right, y'all.
He said we